Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're taking a look at Skullshaver and hopefully answering some of your questions which have been asked since the 2+ years that we've been doing reviews on these Pitbull shavers. So keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at the Pitbull from Skullshaver. So we're looking at the Pitbull Platinum Pro and also the Gold, both of which we've reviewed actually ages ago. So if you want to check out those videos, we'll try and link those in the video description so you can check out our reviews back then. What I wanted to do is update the video and go over some of the more commonly asked questions and actually just clarify a few things, show you how to clean it, some of the best practices to make it last a little bit longer. Now obviously, this is the tail end of 2022. It's coming up towards Christmas time, and actually these do make an excellent gift for loved ones. They do men's and ladies shavers, so it's not just a men only thing. If you want to grab one for your lady, then you certainly can do. There are going to be affiliated links in the video description below, so we do make a small commission from some of the sales from this, but please don't take that as being a shill or sellout. I've actually been using these for ages. We've had other offers and we've actually had other shavers on the show. And this is the one I always go back to. Now, either one of them, the Platinum Pro or the Gold, are absolutely fine. And even their new Palm version, which is actually their budget entry, which definitely actually worth checking out. That one you can pick up for as little as £50 here in the UK, well, $49.99. And you get free shipping from Skullshaver as well with that one, because it covers the £49 free delivery kind of threshold. So that's pretty awesome. We're going to talk about things like the additional add-ons which you can get for this as well, which I didn't actually know about until very recently, so I wanted to update on that. And also to talk about the blades, different types of blades. Believe it or not, there's actually 9 types of blades available for this particular shaver. And also, it's not always entirely obvious what blades it actually comes with the standard. You just assume it's a shaver, it's going to come with good blades. But potentially you can upgrade your shaving performance, which is absolutely awesome. And it doesn't cost an absolute fortune, which is also great. If, like me, you're someone who is somewhat thrifty, you don't like spending a load of money, I'm going to show you some ways of actually making your shaver blades last considerably longer than they're designed to. So anyway, let's get on with it. So the first thing we want to go over is some of the differences in the range. Now you're probably looking at them thinking, well, which one should I buy? Now to be honest with you, there isn't a bad decision. I'll say that straight away. If you want to go for the Palm and save yourself an absolute ton of money, then you certainly can do. All of the shavers, especially the Pitbull range, do come as standard with the Forte style blade. So there's 3 types of blade styles. Now the first one is going to be the Carver. Now the Carver blade is a coarse style blade. Now it's designed for coarse hair. It's a little bit more aggressive of a shave, so a little bit of a closer shave as well. So if you want to go for that one, you certainly can do. And that one is actually the budget end of the market. When you go to the mid-range, you've got the Forte blade, which has actually got a beveled foil to it. And as actually, like the Carver, they've both got 2 cutting rings. But they do say because of the beveled nature of the foil, it is a little bit better for all skin types. So whether you've got sensitive skin, normal skin, greasy skin, oily skin, whatever it is, dry skin, then it should be absolutely fine. So that is the one they generally tend to supply with these shavers straight out of the factory. If you want to upgrade your shaving experience, then you have the Baron range. Now the Baron range is basically the top of the range. All of them are using Japanese steel in the blades anyway, so they're all good quality blades, but the Baron takes things up a notch. So not only have you got a beveled, you've also got a new contoured mesh system going on the blade design, and also there's 3 cutting rings rather than the standard 2. This is also designed for obviously less pressure on your face, and also if you have sensitive skin, then the Baron blade is probably the one you should opt for, although obviously you don't get it as standard with any of the shavers, so that is something you're going to have to upgrade to. You can purchase all of the blade units separately, so when you buy the blade unit, not only do you get the blades, you also get the head as well, so you get the complete head assembly. So literally it's just a matter of twisting it on and twisting it off, and you're back off to the races. Now you're probably thinking as well, Mike, there's 3 different types of head as well. So we've got the 3 different styles of cutting blade, but there's also 3 types of head. So you've got a 3-blade unit, you have a 4-blade unit, and the original 5-blade unit. Now the original 5-blade unit is one which isn't actually able to disassemble. So if you want to clean it, you have to run it under the tap or whatever to get all the hair and stuff like that out of it. For me personally, I'm not a big fan of the 5-blade style. Obviously down to the individual. It is effectively a faster shave because you've got an extra blade or extra 2 blades of shaving performance there, and it does contour better because of the actual shape of the head. But for me personally, I think the 3 and the 4 blade versions are the ones to go for. A lot easier to clean, At least I find them easier to clean. The fact that you can take them apart makes the fact that you can actually make them last a lot longer by doing some cleaning routines, going through, and you can kind of move the blades around as well, which is actually quite useful to do. And also if you get to the point where your shaver has got what I call blade squeal, which you've possibly heard me mention before in previous videos, it is a thing, and it's basically where the blade isn't fully seated actually into the head, and normally the springs in the back will kind of push it into place, or sometimes if it's a brand new blade, it's just basically bedding in that blade edge against the foil. But we'll be looking at ways of actually resolving that and actually cleaning the blades a little bit later on in the video. So that's the blade types out of the way. Let's take a look at some of the accessories you can get, which I actually didn't know existed, and these are very cool, very excited. I'm actually going to purchase these myself. So there's 2 additional blades you can get, one of which is a foil blade, so with a trimming edge, much like some of the older shavers of yesteryear, so it has got a cutting edge and also a normal foil. So for slightly more sensitive areas, then maybe sort of underarms, that sort of thing, it's going to be absolutely great for that sort of thing. The one I'm more interested in, being a gentleman of a slightly older age, is the nose hair trimmer. I didn't know this was a thing. Obviously you can pick up nose hair trimmers quite cheaply, but it's actually quite nice to have it all on that same system. So the additional blades, literally just undo that, put on your nose trimmer or put on the foil blade, and you can use it with your traditional palm grip, which is absolutely brilliant. I like that a lot, and I'm very much looking forward to getting those. There will be a review on those coming up on the channel very shortly, if you can stomach it, that is. So that's the blade types out of the way and the accessories out of the way. The main models themselves, like I said, you've got the Platinum Pro. So the Platinum Pro and also the Gold, effectively they're a very similar thing. Both got sort of 90 minutes runtime, chargeable, come with all the bits and pieces. For me personally, I think the extra accessories you get with the Platinum Pro, such as the travel case, the rinse stand, the mains charger, that sort of thing. If you need that sort of thing, then it's definitely worth getting for the extra money. And also, I feel it does look a little bit nicer in this platinum style finish with a very glossy look to it, rather than the gold, which is ironically black. But I've never understood why they did that, but still, anyway, that's what it is. In terms of features, they're both pretty much identical, so they both got the displays on the top there, so you can see your battery level, etc. The difference being with the Platinum Pro, if it does need cleaning, you do get the cleaning warning icon come up on the top, which is a nice addition. But again, not really a game changer, but it is very handy should you like that sort of thing. Also, you do find with the Gold, it does come with 2 sets of blades, or at least there's options for 2 sets of blades, so you can get it with the traditional 4-blade and also the 3-blade as well. The 3-blade version is great for facial shaving, and also if you've got things like a goatee or some kind of intricate beard work going on, then it's really good because it is a little bit more nimble. You can get it into certain areas that the 4-head basically can't because of obviously the width of it, etc. So that is kind of what it comes down to. Again, I'll put links for all these in the video description so you can check out what it is. Personally, I would say when you get it, obviously because you're going to be getting the Forte blade as standard, or the Forte Pro, this is the Pro version, that is the non-Pro version. If you get that, then you may find that it's absolutely fine for you, but you might want to, if you've got coarser hair, then again, change to the Carver blade, or if you've got more sensitive skin, you're finding that even though it is exceptionally smooth, you are still getting those razor bumps even after a couple of weeks of it bedding in, then you might want to go for the Baron blades. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's take a look at some basic routine maintenance. Now this is going to help you keep your blades last much, much longer. Now obviously when it comes to cleaning, there's various ways you can do it. If you're wet shaving, then it's kind of pretty much going to be self-cleaning. So if you're doing it in the shower, literally all you can do is just pop the cap off, and as you can see, all the stuff will come out. Then yeah, that's absolutely fine, and you can leave it in your stand, let it drip dry, and yeah, everything is all good. But for me, I find it somewhat of almost a ritual or a routine. So what I like to do with my shaver after I've had a shave is basically strip it down like you would with a gun or something. It's a very ritualistic thing. I guess, is it a guy thing? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it is. So what you want to do is to obviously remove the head from your shaver. You can, if you want to, straight away is get a brush. They do include one with the shaver, so you do get a tiny little brush, but I don't like that. I like to use a big brush, so I'll grab my paintbrush. This is one I always keep handy for cleaning all sorts of things, and for cleaning the shavers, it's great. So just go around and flick off all the dust, ideally onto like a surface that you can actually clean afterwards. That's really handy. To take these apart, the same for the 3-head and the 4-head. So there is a little notch on each one of the sides, and all you do is use a little bit of lateral force and it will pop off. So take the head off. That way again you can clean inside. So if you want to clean the inside of here, again, get your brush and just flick all the leftover debris onto your desk or hard surface or into the sink, whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you, obviously. It's your shaver, your house, your cleaning method, do whatever you want to. But I find with these types of brushes, this comes up absolutely immaculate. If you want to, again, you can rinse it under the tap, maybe use some cleaning solution. It's not entirely necessary. I find that does absolutely fine. So that is basically like brand new now. So now we got into the tricky part. Now this is really handy if you're getting that blade squeal where your blades aren't quite bed in properly. I'll see if I can actually replicate that now. So if I push one of these in, wiggle it around, it might squeal, it might not. Let's see. No, typically it's fine. Blade squeal generally is either not being aligned or one of the foils actually is not locked in place. Now the plastic bit behind the head actually locks these foils into place. So one way of doing it, if it is squealing, just put your finger on the side of the foil and see if it's actually physically moving. If it is physically moving, then you are going to have to take it apart to make it reseat properly. So in order to do that, just flick off the back. On the back here, there is a little twist to actually keep it attached. And it does have a marking on there, so counterclockwise, clockwise to release. So counterclockwise to release and clockwise to lock. So undo that and then gently pull it off. And if you want to, again, you can give that a good clean. Now the plastic prongs on here are actually what keep not only the blades, but also the foils in place. So there's a slightly longer section, which keeps the foil in place, and there's a slightly shorter bit, which keeps the blade in place. So take that out. If you want to at this point, you can now give these a good clean. Generally, I would just tap them out onto a desk, give this unit a tap, and also if you want to, again, you can go through with your brush, give it a good clean, get all your dust off. Okay. Not entirely necessary, you could just rinse it under the tap like we said earlier, but this is the important bit. So you've got your foils, so these are the foils, and again, you can give those a little bit of a clean off if you want to with the brush, make sure they're all clean. If they're clean, you should be able to see through them pretty clearly. And also, you've got the actual blades themselves. And don't worry, these aren't particularly sharp. Again, don't play with them. Just be a little bit careful. But you can do the same thing with these as well. Just give them a very light brush. Just make sure they're clean. They pretty much stay clean anyway. So when you've done that, pop them back into the actual foil. And then you can put the foil and also the blade back into the head. So just pop it into one of the holes there. You can, if you want to, sort of see if you can twist it a little bit, just to make sure it's in there properly. Go ahead, obviously clean up the rest of your blades as well. I'm not going to do this in this particular instance for the sake of time, but I mean, you should do. Don't do as I do, do as I say. So those are all in there, make sure they're all seated in there nicely. And then get your plastic section with a locking mechanism. Ideally, you want to have this downward. If you do it on an upward angle, sometimes it can get a little bit stuck or not work properly. So put it into a downward kind of position like that and hold it on the sides. Then grab the plastic section, put it on top, and it should lock into position. So if you give it a couple of taps, and you should find that when you twist that section there, it twists easily. There should be very, very little, if any, resistance whatsoever. If there is resistance, it means that one of these isn't locked in properly. So what you can do, just undo it, take it off again, give it a little shake, maybe twist it around 90 degrees, pop it back in, he says, there we go. That, you can feel it kind of falls into position, so then you can push it down, twist it around. Again, there should be very little resistance, if any, and if you want to, just give those a little tap just to make sure they're all seated correctly. If you find that one side is very springy, then it means that the unit isn't in the right position. So that is pretty much that done, so we can put it back on and press the button. And you should find if your blades were squealing previously, they shouldn't anymore. Now obviously when you're doing it, press the button, give your head a bit of a shave, go over, see, a little bit of a squeal there, and that is just where the blade is actually settling back into position. If you find that squealing is continual, then take it apart again, take out the plastic section, lock it back in, and make sure that those blades aren't spinning actually in the holder. They should be pretty much, yeah, that one did spin a little bit then, and then it's locked into position. So give them a little bit of a sideways motion on the foils, and they should lock in position on that bit of plastic. If they haven't, you will find there's blade squeal because the actual foil is spinning at the same time as the blade, which is not good for the motor or any of it. And doing this on a regular basis will 100% massively prolong the life of your blades and save you possibly, well, 50 quid a year maybe. These blades are anything between about 20 to 30 pounds each. They do recommend you replace them every sort of 3 to 6 months. So if you do it at 3 months, then yeah, potentially that's a lot of money. I've actually been using these same blades now since I actually got these. I've not replaced any blades yet, so if you do want to save some money and basically keep your blades in pretty much perfect condition, just a little bit of routine maintenance will go a long way and save you money, which is awesome, because that is what we're all about here. And talking of saving money, there are actually some deals on at the moment on these from Amazon and also on their site. So if you're buying this before Christmas, I think you can get an extra £20 off of the Platinum Pro, and there's other sort of offers on as well with 35% off blades, etc. So do check out the links in the video description. But I think that's going to wrap it up. If you've got any further questions on the Pitbull range, please do reach out to me. I'm really happy to hear from you all and hear your experience, or if you've had any problems, that sort of stuff. I'm very happy to help out and give you advice however I can. So that's going to wrap this one up. Sorry it's a long one, but I think there's a lot of information in there and it will be useful to some of you out there. So anyway, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.